Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a new series of lessons. We have previously worked through about 50 different movement breathing lessons, and now I'm going to kind of move on slightly. Obviously, breath is still going to be incorporated because breath is part of our movement. But today I want to take a look at the movement of the chest, of the neck, and the head. Hopefully you're sitting in a comfortable position, and we'll begin in a second. But just to say briefly that, obviously a lot of us are doing a lot of sitting at the moment, and maybe we have some pain or tension in our neck and our shoulders. So this lesson really is designed to help you work with that part of yourself, but in a quite a gentle way. The concept, the movement meditation concept, is that we want to do this in such a way that really allows us to listen to ourselves, to feel what's happening as we do small movements, and from there actually develop some freedom and choice in the way that we move. So that's my idea for this series. Hopefully today's lesson will give you a little snapshot of that. If you think that other people will be interested in these kind of lessons, please feel free to share it with them. Obviously, it helps me develop what I'm doing if this is shared with other people. Okay, so if you're ready, if you'd like to just come to a comfortable sitting position. I don't know if I said good morning, but good morning, everyone. And as you're sitting there, what I'd like you to do is just close your eyes. And just kind of, dialing back to the clock, to all the breathing lessons that we did, just notice how your breathing is. Is it fast? Is it slow? Good. And what I'd like you to do is bring your right hand and place it just on your left collarbone. So the collarbone, if you aren't sure what that is the bone that runs along from the middle, the sternum, all the way along to the shoulder, okay? So what I'd like you to do is, just with your eyes closed, just use your fingers and just see if you can feel where that bone is, how far along it goes, where it joins in with the rest of the shoulder, and where it joins in with the sternum. And just using your right hand, exploring your left collarbone, okay? So once you've got a sense of the shape and the size and where it is in your body and what it is, just rest your hand along the length of the collarbone. And just keep your eyes closed and very gently just begin to lift your left shoulder and feel how the collarbone moves underneath your hand. So you can feel that, the change in the musculature, but like, how is the bone actually moving? Good. Keep your hand there and just try and take your shoulder slightly forward. And notice how the collarbone pushes into your right hand. So as you take the left shoulder slightly forwards, the collarbone on the left side moves forwards as well. And maybe you feel that it pushes slightly into the right hand. Good. All right, take your hand down, have a rest. So if you just keep your eyes closed, and after doing that short little exploration, just feel into the difference between your left collarbone and your right collarbone. So we just put our hand on our left collarbone and we just, felt the length of it, and we felt it in a couple of different movements. In your internal awareness of yourself, does the left side of you, the left shoulder, feel represented differently than the right shoulder right now. So hopefully it does. Hopefully you feel a different sense of activity or awakeness or awareness in your left side. And hopefully what that shows you is that just through bringing your attention to something and moving it, you can create a difference in the nervous system. And that difference that you feel really can inform, other parts of the body. So as we work with this, it's going to inform other parts of the body as well. All right. So bring your hand back up. So now what I want you to do is instead of taking the shoulder forward to take the collarbone into your right hand, so this is the left shoulder, left collarbone, right hand. Instead of taking the left shoulder forwards, what I want you to do is actually just take the collarbone forwards. So now you're going to move more from the middle of you, more from the center. And it might feel like a more rotational movement. So it's not the shoulder separating from the ribs. It's actually the whole side of your body coming forward slightly. And just make this movement a few times, taking the left collarbone forwards, keeping your hand there, and back to where it was. And you feel that this is involving a turning of your whole body. And see if you can make this really comfortable, really easy for yourself. Taking that collarbone forwards into the direction of your hand and backwards. And maybe you notice it down in your pelvis, or you notice it in your ribs. Like where does the sense of restriction, movement restriction, like show up for you? Good. And now begin to actively push with the collarbone. So now you're pushing the collarbone slightly forwards into the hand, as if, I don't know, there was some kind of light object in the way of that area, and you just wanted to kind of move it aside with your collarbone. It's probably not an area we're used to kind of moving from, directing ourselves from. Okay, let it go. Just take a moment, come back to your breathing. Feel any difference you feel between the left and the right side. And when you're ready, take your left hand and place it on your left collarbone. And just take a few moments to explore the right collarbone. Sorry, left hand, right collarbone. Explore the right collarbone. Feel where it is. You can sense the bone, you can feel the shape of it. You can follow it all the way up into the shoulder. So you could think of this like a kind of self-massage in some way, but really what you're doing is you're tracing out where the bone is. Feeling this part of you that maybe you're slightly less aware of or not often aware of. So the collarbone comes all the way from the middle in the sternum, joins in with the sternum, and then flows out to the shoulder. Good. And then just rest your hand on it. Rest your hand. See if you can get it kind of, along the length of the collarbone. So my left hand is on my right collarbone, and then I'm just going to very gently lift up my right shoulder a few times. Lift and lower. And just feel underneath your hand, connected with the collarbone. What is the collarbone doing? How is it moving? Again, you can probably feel the muscle and the tissue movement, but how does the collarbone move? Good. Okay, so just let your shoulder rest for a second. Come back to your breathing if you like. And then very gently begin to move the right shoulder forwards into the left hand. So the collarbone moves into the left hand. So just dropping the right shoulder slightly forwards or taking it forwards so that the collarbone is taken towards the left hand. And you can feel again in this movement, what's the collarbone doing? How is it allowing this movement? So I can feel the sort of difference underneath the pad of my thumb in how the collarbone is joining in with the sternum and what it's doing in this movement in comparison with the lifting movement that we just did a second ago. So there's detail in there. If you're quiet enough and you patient enough with yourself, there's a lot of detail that you can find out. Good. Okay, let the arm down. Just take a rest. Again, sort of just tune in. What's the difference you feel on the left and the right side? Has just doing that small exploration on the right collarbone sort of brought it more into your awareness? And maybe just as you sit there with your eyes closed and you feel your breathing, and you feel what relationship your collarbones have with the breath. Good. Okay, so bring your left hand back up onto your right collarbone. And now instead of taking the right shoulder forwards, I want you to lead the movement coming forwards from the collarbone itself. Okay, so this is more of a rotational movement, as if I'm kind of pushing something away with the right side of my body. And you can see that my head starts going off to the left slightly. So let that happen. Let your head turn very gently to the left as you bring your right collarbone forwards. So you feel that it's really like the whole of the torso is rotating slightly. And see if you can make this really nice and comfortable. I mean, this is a movement that we do all the time. So for example, in walking, or if we're reaching to get something, there's this rotation of the body. But maybe, if we've been sitting for a long time, or, we're not moving ourselves as much as we could, then this movement feels tough or restricted in some way. So just see if you can kind of, through allowing it to feel difficult, that you can find what's easy. And within the sort of the bracket of what's easy, the more you stay in there and you explore what's easy, the more that experience of what's easy will spread. The nervous system will relax, or the muscle or the nervous system will kind of calm down. It will send messages to the muscles to relax, and everything will kind of start to work a little bit easier. But it's not until we start to respect the fact that actually things change best through comfort, that those changes can start happening. Okay. So what I'd like you to do now is very gently, as you take your right collarbone round and you push into your left hand, I'd like you to look up towards the ceiling on the left side. Look up towards the ceiling on the left side. And just do it a number of times. Feel the movement of the collarbone coming forwards, and at the same time, you're allowing your head to come around to the left, and you're also looking up. So this is really working you in a specific way. Can you make it comfortable? Can it be easy? Can you stay within your comfortable range? Yeah, you notice the direction of your chin. Maybe your chin's also coming up to the ceiling. Good. Come down and take a rest. So as you sit there, Just feel how you're kind of connected in with the rest of your torso. So down into your pelvis, your abdomen, the lower back on top of the pelvis, and the ribs, and the back of the spine. And how's your head sitting, kind of on top of that structure? Good. So what I'd like you to do is take your right hand, place it on your left collarbone, and begin to take the left side, the left collarbone towards the right hand, allowing the head to turn to the right. And at the same time as you turn to the right, you're going to look up to the diagonal. And you feel as you look up to the diagonal, does it allow the collarbone to come more forwards? So you can feel that as you turn, the head turns, the eyes look up, but the chin also comes up. And maybe you feel a bit of length in the front of your neck. So see if you can do that actually. Take the collarbone forwards and then let length come into the front of the neck. So that you take the chin upwards towards the ceiling. Good. Let it go. And just feel as you sit there now and you've done a couple of those movements, can you feel how your collarbones are sitting on top of your ribs, in your shoulder structure, and how maybe that relates to the neck and the head, the ability of the neck and the head. Okay, so what I want you to do is just go back to that movement, but now we're not going to use our hands on there to guide it. So you're just going to go back and you're moving the right collarbone forwards and just do it really lightly a couple of times. And you feel that as you take your right collarbone forwards, your whole body rotates. So what does your left collarbone do? As your right collarbone comes forwards, what does your left collarbone do? Just do it a couple of times. Okay, and then try it on the other side. Once you've done it a couple of times on the right side, feeling the right collarbone coming forwards, the left collarbone doing something opposite to that, then change over. Take the left collarbone forwards, feel that rotation coming round to the right side. And as you rotate in this way, what does the right collarbone do? Okay, and then vary between the two sides. Go one side, the left collarbone coming forwards, the right collarbone doing something else, then the right side coming forwards and the left side doing something else. And you feel that you can kind of make this into a dancing movement. Okay, take a little rest. So what I'd like you to do is take your head in the direction of the ceiling again, right? So you're going to kind of move upwards towards the ceiling and come back. And notice that as I go, so I'm going towards my left. I'm going to go up to the left diagonal, take my eyes up there, but also take my chin up there. So as I go to the left diagonal, my right collarbone comes forwards. What does my left collarbone do? And just do it a couple of times. Take it easy. This is not, like, you need to look after yourself when you do stuff like this. If it hasn't moved, if you haven't moved in this way for a long time, really respect that. Respect that you need to do it within your range. I'm not there. I can't guide you through this. But so in some way you've got to look after yourself. So as you do this, feel that the chin can come really open and the neck can elongate. Okay, and then do it to the other side. Turn around to the other side. Take the chin to the ceiling and then do one side and then the other side. Okay, and then take a little rest. And now what I would like you to do, after you've just taken a second, is just take your chin up towards the ceiling in front of you. Take your chin up and then bring it back. Just do it a couple of times. Notice as you bring your chin up and forwards, what do your collarbones do? So now lead that movement from your collarbones. Begin the movement from bringing the collarbones forwards, both of them at the same time, and then opening up the head, the neck, the chin, so that you're looking up towards the ceiling, but you're leading it with the collarbone movement. Do it really gently, really slowly. Take your time. Feeling how the collarbone moves through space as you come to this position. Good. And take a rest. And now just feel how your collarbones are sitting on your shoulders, or how the collarbones are sitting on top of the ribs. Hopefully you're a lot more aware of them. They've kind of been incorporated in your image of yourself. In terms of kind of giving a hint as to where the series is going, it's like the more aware of yourself you are, the more parts of yourself you're including in your action, and the more capable and easy movement will become when you do it like that. So, we took a small snapshot of that today, working on the collarbone movement and seeing how it relates to the head and the neck. And maybe you want to try this again. Maybe it's not a lesson that you feel on the first try feels easy and comfortable, but you work at it and you feel like, how can I listen to myself? How can I do this in a way that feels good? And how can I follow that feeling of feeling good into more mobility and ease? Okay. So just close your eyes for a second. We'll just wrap up. And if you just bring your attention back to yourself and just feel the movement of your breath, of your rib cage underneath the collarbone. And feel how your head is sitting now, how your neck is, whether your neck is feeling more comfortable. And so this lesson was called Looking Up. And if you want to try, you can just try. Like, how easy is looking up now? For me, it's definitely improved, you know, short 20-minute lesson. And I feel like I could look up towards the ceiling a lot better. Okay, so thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. As I said at the beginning, if you'd like to share it with other people, I really appreciate that. It obviously helps me reach more people. And I think that this is valuable work. So, you know, if you feel like that as well and it's helping you in some way, then I'd be really grateful if you could share it. So thank you. The previous lessons and the series going forward, of course, will be in my Facebook group, Thoughtful Movements Community. The link is in the description. I also am teaching a full Feldenkrais lesson tonight in my regular Monday night class, and that's 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. So if anyone is interested in that, please let me know. I'm running in that class, I'm running through a series of lessons called the Esalen series. That series at the moment, I'm on lesson 39 or 38 or so. And it's, you know, there are some quite challenging lessons in it. So tonight's lesson is going to be one that's pretty interesting. If you are interested in that, let me know. I can send you a link. That's also going to be posted in my group as well. Thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow at 11. And I don't know, I haven't got a plan yet for what that's going to be. So I look forward to telling you. All right, take care. Have a nice day. Bye.